everybody. Going out to the woods with these peppers. We plan to play nice and have a good time, but if we don't make it back to our last video, you know what happened. Who did it? This one.
First of all, let me just say this, man. The real stars of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the real reason why everybody tunes in is because of the dynamic duo, the Williams sisters. Yes, Portia Williams and Lauren Williams. They are the reason why everybody watches the show. Portia is to the Real Housewives what Drea was to Basketball Wives. Without her, honestly, there is no show. But anyways, I'm a huge Williams sisters fan, so of course I'm going to say that. So everybody's wondering what the hell happened at the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9 reunion show. We've been hearing all types of rumors and shit. Listen, y'all want the alleged real tea? Here you go. On March 19th of 2017, A.T. Alien, straight from the A.com, posted the following article, hashtag Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9 reunion tea, fake makeups and breakups, plus R.I.P. freaking frack. If you don't know who freaking frack are, that's Portia and Phaedra. What do they mean by R.I.P.? Well, here's what the article says. Everyone has been waiting for me to jump in the pool of blogs who were, quote, spilling tea on the season 9 reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I apologize for the delay. I've got a lot going on personally right now, but wanted to share what I know thus far. As you know, the season 9 reunion taped last Thursday, and the net has been buzzing with droplets of tea. I've had my ear to the streets, of course. The lesbian rumors sparked by Phaedra Parks and Portia Williams took center stage this season. Needless to say, it's only fair that the brunt of the heat lies on these two, as it seems that their friendship took a beating during the season 9 reunion show taping. Other tidbits include Bob and Sheree's, quote, makeup, Peter and Cynthia's, quote, breakup, and Kandi and Todd's personal beef with executive producer Carlos King. Details below. Here's a copy of the seating chart that has been floating around. As you can see, Kandi and then they crossed out Portia's name. Why would you ever? Anyway, Kandi and Portia with her name crossed out. Phaedra are in the seats that are reserved for battle. Now, for the record, I'll tell you guys how the seats were. Andy was in the middle. On Andy's right side, we have Kandi. On his left side, we have Phaedra. Also on the right side, sitting next to Kandi, is Kenya and Cynthia. And on his left side was Phaedra, Portia, Sheree. So, there you go. That was the seating arrangement. Anyways, back to the article. So here's what I know thus far. Bob and Sheree, fake makeup to fake breakup. I don't know if it's been reported elsewhere, but I have received confirmation that Bob Whitfield attended the reunion. Excuse me, I almost said funeral because Portia's image is on my screen slaying me right now. Anyways, I don't know if it's been reported elsewhere, but I have received confirmation that Bob Whitfield attended the reunion show to discuss his relationship with Sheree. It's been evident all season long that Bob and Sheree were a farce, and one of Bob's girlfriends even spilled tea about it in a lengthy open letter about a week ago. Click here if you missed that. So they posted a link to that, and I don't know what that's about. I didn't even hear about that. But despite all of that, both Bob and Sheree were in agreement about appearing together and pretending. During the reunion, the two addressed Bob's callous joke about choking Sheree. Let me just chime in and say this. Yeah, I was very disturbed about that shit. But anyways, apparently quite a few of the men on the show even tried to help him. But word on the curb is that the former ball player made quite a few antagonistic statements towards his ex that had many giving the side eye. Yeah, I'm giving this bastard the side eye right now. How could anybody say anything bad about Sheree? Whatever the case, Bob apologized, kinda. Moving on. Yeah, let's move on from that shit. Peter and Cynthia, divorce update. The couple proclaims their divorce is final during the reunion, and it's been rumored that Peter had an emotional breakdown and had to be escorted off the stage. The true tea is that Peter and Cynthia's divorce was just filed a few weeks ago on February 21st of 2017, just in time for the reunion, and it is nowhere near final. And then they posted receipts, like the case information: Cynthia Bailey Thomas versus Peter Thomas, Division 7 court. The case is open. It says domestic divorce / alimony. That's the case type. Wow, even the case number. And it says right there, file date February 21st of 2017. Anyways, a source close to the couple claims that they waited to file the divorce, quote, for tax purposes. And I guess that's a plausible explanation for the timing. I've always surmised that these two were pulling a, quote, Nene and Greg, i.e. breaking up for the cameras. And I'm still of that mindset, since they, like Phaedra, seem to be making statements about their divorce being final that aren't quite true. As for Peter's rumored, quote, emotional breakdown, he's responded with the following response, which I already made a video about that, how, you know, he basically called it BS, which I never believed that. Come on, Peter having a mental breakdown and said, come on, y'all, come on, Peter's tough as nails. Anyways, for the record, there's a smidgen of truth to the report, but only a drop. There wasn't a nervous breakdown, but Peter did leave early. I've been told that Papa Smurf, I read that incorrectly, I'm sorry. I've been told that Mr. Thomas apparently got so upset over the line of questioning about this pending divorce that he abruptly walked off the stage, but he wasn't crying and shaking and escorted out like what's being reported. He simply got up and walked away, rather walked out. Of course he did. Let me just say this. Let me interject. Of course Peter walked. You see how fine Cynthia Bailey is? He didn't want to lose all that Cynthia shit. I feel you, Peter. If I was losing my wife, and we forget that. I got to get up out of here. I would have been gone too. But anyways, now the article goes on to say Portia has been around the block quite a few times. I don't like that introduction at all. That's not cool. But anyways, you know, let me stop being biased because the prettiest girl in the world is being shaded. This wasn't my blog that said that, because I only have nice things to say about Portia, the real star of the show, the real star of every show that she touches. Anyways, because she has the diamond touch, everything she touches turns to diamonds. Anyways, back to the article. Portia has been around the block quite a few times. Well, hey, maybe she was running, getting some exercise. Jeez, people, stop hating. Anyways, both Candy and Kenya are gunning for Portia during the reunion, and apparently a major bomb was revealed as Portia's, quote, freak hoe past is dissected for the masses. Pause the story right there. Portia was never a freak hoe. I don't understand. Listen, if Portia needs a piece of peen, we need to all just mind our damn business. Why is everybody so concerned with Portia's vagina? Why is Portia's vagina the real star of the show? But anyways, back to the article. Candy apparently pulls receipts about Portia having slept with her baby daddy Russell Block Spencer, as well as quite a few rappers in the Atlanta area. I don't believe this. Just because she was in that Trillville Some Cut video with the green dress on, slaying the whole music video looking like the green goddess, that doesn't mean, you know, that my girl Portia slept with a bunch of rappers. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to say she slept with Trillville because she was in Some Cut video. But that's what I'm predicting. Well, maybe not. Let me stop being silly. But anyways, Todd Tucker also supports Candy's claim and reportedly shares his own personal recollection about Portia and her BFF's husband, Apollo Nita, having shared a lot of time together hanging out around town just prior to his lockdown. Apparently, there could be a bit of truth to that if this is a real post. And then they showed that... Oh, people. Let me tell you something. This is that BS, man. There's this fake post going around. And it's Portia standing there with a dress on, looking amazing. And it appears to be a comment that she left, but it was like photoshopped or something. And it says, yes, I admit me and Apollo has a moment, as opposed to had a moment. Yes, I admit me and Apollo has a moment, but that's nobody's business. Watch the reunion to get the true tea. Hashtag true TP. Hashtag who said that? Let me tell y'all something. Fake. Of course she didn't say that. Portia already, and I did a separate video about it. Portia already said she didn't post that crap. And I believe Portia. Portia ain't never lied. But anyways, we all know Portia is innocent. The article goes on to say, for the record, someone sent me that over via DM. But if Portia posted it, it's apparently been deleted. Of course she didn't post it. Why would she post and delete something like that? If it's a confession, if she wants people to know that, if it's allegedly true, of course she wouldn't delete it. Oh my God, people. Anyways, the rumor mill is buzzing about a scandalous accusation that Portia also slept with Apollo. But I'm not sure how true that is. Whatever the case, if Todd said it, he would know, as he was often in the club right beside Mr. Nita. But I digress. Phaedra and Portia the end of a friendship. Meanwhile, everyone is buzzing about the demise of Freak and Fraud. Then they crossed out Freak and Fraud and put Frick and Frack. Basically, if I'm not mistaken, Portia is Frick and Phaedra is Frack. That's their nickname. They were the dynamic duo. I hope they're still friends, man. They were a cool and awesome team. But anyways, meanwhile, everyone is buzzing about the demise of Freak and Fraud, crossed out, Frick and Frack, apparently. Phaedra got the same legendary, quote, bad edit during the final scenes of the reunion that Sheree got right before she was fired at the end of season 4. Kandi was reportedly gunning for Phaedra during the reunion, and towards the end, Phaedra gets called out on the many lies she told during the season. Oddly enough, Portia even throws her, quote, BFF or best friend forever under the bus by revealing a bunch of underhanded shenanigans that Phaedra was involved in. Rumor has it that Portia is the one who dropped the, quote, explosive bomb and not Kandi, as she allegedly reveals that Phaedra was the sole source of the rumor about Kandi and Todd scheming to, quote, drug Portia and take her to their sex dungeon. Pause the story right there. That was probably just a joke that she thought was serious. But anyways, Phaedra also gets called out about her divorce shenanigans, where she claimed for months that her divorce was final, but had used fake names and now has to do it all over again. Really? Fake name? What the hell? Anyway, this sounds like you don't want to get divorced. Anyway, it was all the Phaedra and Portia news that rattled Andy Cohen during day one of the filming. And they posted a video of Andy Cohen, the one that he posted online, where he was acting like, wow, the stuff that went on at the reunion, man, some stuff came out, you know. But anyways, article goes on to say, my source says that they don't think Phaedra and Portia's friendship can recover from the devastating blow at the reunion. They also made a point of saying that the two may be, quote, strategically playing this all up to keep their jobs. As previously stated, Phaedra got the same treatment that Sheree Whitfield got before her peach was snatched. If you recall, it was almost like a grand goodbye, complete with a montage of clips from past years. Now, I don't know if that means Phaedra's out of here, but apparently that's the overall consensus. Free tea, Kandi, Todd, and Carlos King beef. I don't know if they are going to air this tidbit, and if not, you can just consider this, quote, free tea. Apparently, Todd and Kandi fell out with executive producer Carlos King over several business matters, and my sources believe that it's been King's personal issues with Todd that had Kandi on the hot seat this season. Fortunately, she held her own, but this is one of the major reasons why Todd came with guns blazing at the reunion show. As you know, Todd and Carlos used to be partners in Kingdom Reign production company, but that relationship was severed during a disagreement about Hollywood divas. Several sources say that at one point, Carlos and Todd weren't even on speaking terms because they couldn't see eye to eye about how to handle production of the failed reality show. Wait a second, that show failed? I thought it was a success. Anyways, in addition to a huge legal issue that ended up costing them a lot of money. On a related note, I was told that Kandi and Carlos are also at odds because King has been working on Escape's documentary with Jermaine Dupri, unbeknownst to Kandi. Whoa. So they are working on an Escape documentary. Oh, I can't wait. And I hope it's good. Like the one about New Edition. See, I've been waiting for this. Anyway, apparently Kandi doesn't own any rights to Escape or their music. That's news to me. Oh my God. Apparently Kandi doesn't own any rights to Escape or their music, but Jermaine does, and Dupree has been working with King to produce it. Word on the curb is that Kandi had no clue about the project and was actually planning on her own prior to finding out. Kandi, please don't stop. I hope if this is true, that we'll get 2 documentaries. I'm here for all of that. I was also told that Carlos interviewed Mama Joyce for information about Escape, but at the time he did, Kandi had no idea that it was for the project with Jermaine. Needless to say, Kandi was apparently livid about the news and felt that Carlos intentionally deceived her. The trio have been at odds ever since. The gag is, Kandi and her reunited girl group Escape have been working with Mona Scott Young, Carlos King's former boss who fired him from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It seems that Carlos was trying to get the jump on Mona, and he succeeded by going straight to Jermaine, but I digress. That's the bulk of what I have for now. at least what I can remember from what was told to me. I had a very long conversation about the reunion Friday, but I lost my grandmother Saturday, and the world has pretty much stood still since then. I'll be back with more soon, though. What are your thoughts on the explosive reunion show tea that's spilled thus far? Well, RIP to your grandma, first of all. Jesus. Second of all, I'm sorry, man. I gotta say it, though. Stop shading the Porsche. Porsche ain't never hurt nobody. The guys on the truth is that Todd basically let it be known, I think it was a season 6 reunion, that he had the hots for Portia, but nobody was surprised because it's like everybody likes Portia. Like, you know, some people will admit it, some people won't, but everybody wishes they had a piece of Portia. Every woman in the world wishes she looked like Portia. Every man in the world wishes that he had Portia in his life. And only one lucky guy is going to get her, and all men on earth are at war right now to get to the Porsche. And, you know, I gave up because she's out of my league. But Portia is the most beautiful woman in the whole wide world. And did you notice something? That during this long article, they talked a lot of shit about Portia. And the different things that were said about her. Oh, Candy and Todd had this premeditated attack, allegedly, against Portia. Phaedra said, did y'all notice anything? They didn't say Portia said or did anything wrong. Just for the record. And that's why she's my favorite. That's why she's everybody's favorite. But anyways, shout out to the Porsche. She apparently handled all that nonsense very well, as she always does. She's so classy and graceful. But anyways, this is all my opinion. I am completely biased in this because Portia is the greatest. So I'm automatically going to side with Portia no matter what, period. Like, it's Portia and everybody else. Like they said, Detroit versus everybody. Like, there's Porsche and then there's all the rest of y'all. Like, but anyways, this is all my opinion. What do I know? I'm merely a Portia Williams stan with a microphone. Let me know what y'all think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter, Meat Magazine 7 on Google+, Meat Magazine blog and Instagram. For the record, Portia is not the star of the show. Apparently her vagina is, because everybody's so concerned with what she did with her clit. It's freaking, it amazes me. Like, that became the talk of the reunion. Remember, there's 3 parts to the reunion. Why was that such a big part of it? You got to ask yourselves that. Why was that sweet Portia every day a part of the discussion at all, my lord? And then for it to be such a big thing, that's the thing. That's how they're trying to reel people in to watch the reunion. Ooh, we're going to be talking about Portia's vagina. Really? But anyways, the reason why Portia's vagina is the star of the show is because when everybody dies, we all want to RIP. Rest in Portia.